Hello and welcome everyone. It is time for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, December 18th, 2019. It is going to be a big week, man. There's some good stuff out this week for sure. But anyways, we'll get in that in a second. Just a real quick heads up. I'm only going to be running through... This video is going to be a little different than normal. I'm not going my normal format where I run through all the books I'm looking at and top covers and top picks. I'm going to talk about a few books I picked up just this week, and then I'm going to be running through all my top picks for next week, just because there's a lot of them, and a few spec books sprinkled in there. So I will get back to my normal format down the road, but it's been really busy with work and holidays and shopping and all that other kind of stuff. I just don't have a ton of time, but there's some really good stuff I wanted to cover off, so we'll get into it real quick here. Before I do, thank you to all my subscribers on YouTube and Instagram. I really appreciate you taking the time to send me comments and tips and ask questions. It's awesome. I love being part of this community, so thank you so much. You're all awesome. I say it every week, and I really do mean it. So don't forget about the Key Collector Comics app. It is a great app. There's a ton of info in there, and I really like it because when I go to my comic shop, if there's I find something, I can quickly research it to see if there's a first appearance or what there is going on in the book or whatever, because I love comics. I've been reading them a long time, but there's just no way I can remember everything, so it's nice to have a good resource like that. It's a free download on the App Store, and if you put in the code Jim Comics in there, you'll get a free 1-week trial, which gives you access to everything and all the information and everything, so it's really good. Give it a shot if you haven't. I know a lot of you have, so it's really good. I want to quickly talk about a couple books, a couple books I picked up this week. I got my Miles Morales Spider-Man 13. I got the 2 covers, A and B, for that one. I did not get the Venom Island one. That's my shop didn't even order those because you had to order a whole boatload of, I can't remember how many more, but anyways. And it's funny because lately, the last few weeks, and the last little while anyways, they've been dropping this stuff in books that nobody, if you've been following, there was hints that, that she was going to be born at some point, but this is your first appearance of Billy Morales, as you all know by now, the sister of Miles Morales. And but a week before is Miss Marvel number 10. They're dropping every week. There's stuff popping up. A lot of us read the solicitations and everything else, but you can only gather so much from that, and it's tough to know exactly what's coming and when. And this, every week now there seems to be something popping up. This was a really good one, which I think is going to be pretty important. That's his sister, and I have to give credit to I'm not sure where it came from, but there's a kind of spec that Spider-Zero, which showed up in Spider-Verse number 1, is actually Billy Morales. Now, whether it is or not, I don't know, but I'm not sure where that started from. I saw that on Comic Tom and Key Collector app and that. Somebody mentioned in one of my on Instagram that it might have been #Facts, which is a Facebook group. I've never been part of that group, so I don't know anything about them, but apparently they have some good info on there, and they may have come up with the spec for that. So hey, if they did, good for them. It's a good spec. But the reason for that is that in Spider-Zero, first full appearance of Spider-Verse number 1, which is, man, if you don't have that book, highly suggest you get it. And I mentioned that at the time. And also the second print, which came out, I can't remember when that came out, a couple weeks ago. That's a really good one to get to. But the reason for that is because in Spider-Zero has a Spider-Ham hanging, well, one of the reasons anyway, has Spider-Ham hanging from her backpack. And then in the image of Miles Morales, I think it's number 16 or 17, you got Miles Morales over top of the crib, and Billy's laying in the crib, and then there's a Spider-Ham laying beside her. So is it possible that Spider-Zero is Billy Morales in a different timeline, and at some point she's going to come back into the regular timeline and join him as a fighter and all that kind of stuff? Hey, that would be really cool, which would make both of these books really good ones to have in your collection. So if you don't have those right now, they're fairly inexpensive. And obviously try to get them for cover price, or I hope you did. I mean, I got all mine for cover. I don't recommend dropping crazy eBay prices on stuff. I say that all the time. So anyways, just really good books to get, because it's funny how they're really pushing this. Marvel had an announcement about it, so there's something coming with that. I don't know what it is, but hey, that would be interesting if it was. And the other one I want to talk about that came out this week was Silver Surfer Annihilation Scourge, just the one, every week there's been one of these. And the Omega number 1 is coming out this week. which we'll talk about later. But in the back of this one, you got the Sentry. This spoiler alert, so if you haven't read it, turn it off. But at the end of this book, you get the Sentry and Miles Morales merged together. Miles Morales, good lord. Sentry, Silver Surfer Black and the Sentry merged to become basically the Silver Sentry. And where that's going, I don't know, but that's your first appearance of him, which makes the Omega this week pretty important, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But the Sentry, in my opinion, has been one of those characters that he's a pretty powerful character, and he seems to always kind of be on the fringe of the Marvel Universe. But this is one of those books, the Sentry #1. That's his first appearance. That was kind of that. I think it was a 5-part miniseries, if I remember right. I know it was a miniseries, but I got the whole thing. But Sentry #1 is that is a good book to get. If you don't have that book, that is a key book to get, because it's one of those ones where it's really undervalued, and not a ton of people are paying attention to him, because he's still kind of off to the. He's powerful, but a lot of people aren't really paying a whole lot of attention to him. So if you don't have that, boy, I would get that one, because it sure looks like they got plans for the Sentry going forward. And anytime you can get a major character first appearance when the book is not super pricey, that's the time to do it. Anyways, that's it for stuff I was looking at. I just wanted to talk about that for this past week, because there was some good stuff coming out. And it just goes to show, lately they've been dropping stuff into books that catch a lot of people by surprise. So, hey, it's a good time to be collecting. And on that topic, I know a lot of you follow me on Instagram, and stuff comes up on Monday or Tuesday, and as soon as I know, I put it on my Instagram page, and I'll let you know that, hey, this is a good book to get, or that's a good book to get. So if I don't cover it off in my video here, there's always that too. So anyways, we'll get into my top picks this week. I got a whole bunch of them. From Black Box, I got Psycho List #5, just the one cover. That's been a great series, and it's a really low print run, and I have a good feeling about that one. So that's what I've been on. I've got every issue of that, and I've been on it right from the beginning. Black Box, it's for a smaller company, they put out some good stuff. From Boom Studios, another indie which I really like. Boom's putting out some really good stuff. Once and Future #5. This has got TV and movie written all over it. I said that right from the beginning. There's only the one cover, and it's been a great story. I really like the story of this. It's a cool story. That would be such a good movie, man. Anyways. From Dark Horse, this is a big one this week. I really suggest you get this book. I have not bought all these Black Hammer books. Obviously, I've got Black Hammer in the background here. Like this is the first issue #1 first print, and then issue #2 first print as well. I talked about this as a spec book, a couple years ago, because in 2018 Black Hammer was optioned, and Jeff Lemire's creating this whole Black Hammer universe. So this Skulldigger and Skeleton Boy #1, there's 3 covers for that this week. There's your regular cover A, which is a nice cover, and it's a black cover. Boy, try to get that in high grade. As you all know, the black covers are tough. Sometimes they, color rub and all that kind of crap. But Dark Horse usually puts a little better quality paper on their books, so hopefully it comes out okay. Cover A is nice. Cover B is a Deodato cover. It's really nice too. I like that one. And then cover C is a 1 for 10. I would try and get that one if you can, because this is the first title in Phase 2 of the Black Hammer universe, according to Jeff Lemire. So it's opening up a whole new bunch of characters and everything else. And this Skulldigger and Skeleton Boy, this is their first comic appearance, so this is a really good one to get. They have appeared, and this I got off my Key Collector Comics app info. Good app. The Skulldigger and Skeleton Boy have shown up in the encyclopedia before, but never in a comic. So this is their first comic appearance, and on cover and everything. So really good one to get. I would really suggest you get that one, especially with this eventually showing up on TV. So, and the funny thing is, I know a lot of stuff gets optioned, and it seems to take forever. You hear about it, and then like 2-3 years go by and nothing. But I've mentioned before in some of my videos, it takes a long time for this stuff from getting optioned to making it to the screen. And right when the news is announced, the prices spike, and then they settle down. So if you didn't get it before prices spike, wait for a little bit. And once the prices settle, that is totally the time to buy it, because everybody's like, oh, nothing's happening. But hey, it just takes time. So anyways, get that Skulldigger and Skeleton Boy is what I'm trying to say. Doomsday Clock #12, got 3 covers for that. it's the final issue in this Doomsday Clock, which has been a really good series, but man, has it taken a long time to get from issue 1 to where we are now. But we're finally getting it looks like we're going to get our Dr. Manhattan Superman battle in this, and we'll see what ramifications that has for the DC Universe, so really good one to get. Batman Last Night on Earth, number 3 is out. Finally, we're getting the conclusion to this 3-part miniseries thing, and I really recommend you get this one. If you remember in issue number 2, I don't even remember when this came out. It was so long ago. I really enjoy it, but we got our first appearance of that Omega character. It was more of a cameo kind of thing in this issue number 2. So very likely this issue number 3 is going to be a first full appearance of Omega. And on top of that, it's just a really good story with Snyder and Capullo's artwork. Man, I love Capullo's artwork. So yeah, that is definitely one I'm picking up this week. Looking forward to it. Marvel, just talked about Annihilation, Scourge, Silver Surfer, but the Annihilation, Scourge, Omega number 1, 2 covers for this one. And cover A was kind of a classified cover for a while, but you'll see on the screen it's got the Sentry on there. So he's, whatever, that merging with the Silver Surfer Black is, we'll see what happens with that, but you're likely going to get your first full appearance of that Silver Sentry or whatever we're going to call him, but definitely recommend that one. Avengers 28, I talked about this one a little while back. You got your 3 Heralds showing up in this. You've also got Brood Thor. He showed up in the last issue. But the 3 Heralds I'm really interested in, so I don't know if it's going to be Silver Surfer, because Silver Surfer Black showed up at the end of 27. So is it going to be him, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and somebody else? Or is it going to be 3 new people? I don't know, but highly suggest Avengers number 28. That looks like a good one. Daredevil number 15. This has been a great series, underrated, and a lot of people are missing out if they're not buying it. And in the last issue, Cole North let it be known why he left Chicago and had to come to New York is because he shot a kid. And I'm wondering if that kid is going to end up being the one that's now being Daredevil. Well, we'll see. I'm still waiting to figure out what's going on with that. But Daredevil number 15, that's a good. Oh, and cover B is a really nice Ryan Brown cover with Bullseye on the cover. Kind of a different look for Bullseye. That is I really like this Daredevil. It's so good. And I mentioned before too that there's I can't remember, was it 17? I think there's an old a new villain is resurfacing, and I still think that's going to be the Vigil from Daredevil 6, 9, and 10. Those are good books to get. Anyways, last one this week is Guardians of the Galaxy number 12. It's the last issue of this Guardians of the Galaxy run. Cates has written the whole thing. I haven't bought it all the way through. I bought probably, I don't know, half of them. But this one is the last one, obviously, before it gets relaunched in the spring with Al Ewing writing it. But apparently it's all leading to this. It's the Thanos wins, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Silver Surfer, Black, Death and Humans. It's all leading to this issue. So whether we're going to possibly get a new character in this, or this has something to tie into that new incoming series, or that one-shot or whatever launching in the spring, man, this one looks good. I would recommend you get that one. That looks like a good one this week. Oh yeah, there's one book I want to talk about this week. I'm not sure if it's going to out. It's listed on the Previews World as Doll Island number 1 from Scout Comics. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be out this week, but I don't know if it's been delayed, because I've looked on Midtown and Comic List and they don't list it, so it's very possible that it's not out this week. I talked about this one a few weeks ago. It was one that looks pretty interesting. I really want to get that one, and if it's out this week, that'd definitely be on my list, but I just don't know if it is. I know Black Cake Comics has a really nice Esteban Salinas limited edition cover. There's only 150 of these, and I think there's only about 15 left. If you're interested in that, you might want to check that out. I don't recommend a lot of exclusives, but if you do like it, grab it. If you don't get it. It's up to you, but I really like his work. He's a great artist, and man, those books do really well. So anyways, Doll Island, that's like I say, I'm not sure if that's out this week, but when it is, I'm getting it. It may be delayed till next week. So anyways, take care everyone. Happy hunting. Talk to you later in the week. Bye for now.